Rotary is building friendships,
community service,
networking, inspiring,
people of action, enhancing lives,
fellowshipping, helping, change, dynamic. Rotary is me. 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 We are Rotary St. Martin Sunset.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary Alicia, for putting together this wonderful presentation so our guests can follow with us online. I would just like to give a special welcome to our guest speaker for this evening, Rotarian Audley Knights. Also would like to welcome, we have our Assistant Governor, Macelia Henry, also joining with us. Welcome to all of the past assistant governors from your respective districts and the past district governors. We also have a past district governor for our district, Harish Ramchandani. Welcome. Before we go into our presentation for this evening, I would now like to call on Rotarian Franklin to lead us with 15 seconds of silence. Rotarian Franklin, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. It's a pleasure to see you all once again and all of our new guests. We would like to take 15 seconds of silence this evening, and I would like to dedicate it to those who have been lost to and those who are still fighting in the COVID-19 pandemic. To those in the medical fields who are out there fighting for all of us, caring for others and towards and also to pray for each other, for those hurting in this time, to reflect on ourselves, and also to remember our unofficial club mascot, Cola, the dog of our Rotarian Tamara Leonard, who unfortunately we lost this week as well. So I would like us to start this 15 seconds of silence right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Franklin. I would like to now call on our Rotary Foundation Chair, Rotarian Michelette, to give us a lovely rendition of the St. Martin song with her beautiful voice.
Good evening, everyone. Where over the world, say where you find an island there, so lovely small, with nations free, with people French and Dutch, though talking English much, has the St. Martin in the sea. Oh, sweet St. Martin's land, so bright by beach and strand, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains green variously in sunlight sheen. No, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. No, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Michelette. You surprised me. I didn't know you had such a beautiful voice. Now I'm going to call on Rotarian Daniela to lead us into the four-way test.
Good evening, everyone. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build
Goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be
Beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Daniela. I'm now going to give the floor over to our Sergeant at Arms, Tamara Wilson, to give us her updates.
Good evening, everyone. I join with President Jaida to welcome each one of you here tonight. I want to send a warm welcome to, of course, President Jaida, the members and the board of the Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunset, those visiting Rotarians from around the world. We have about 101 participants in this chat tonight. So that's something we should be proud of, that Rotary has us connecting at this time from all over the world. Additionally, we have, hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
You guys are hearing me?
Yes, we are.
You guys are hearing me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I got disconnected. Let me start over because I'm not sure where you guys left off, where I was speaking and got cut off. In any case, I want to welcome everyone from around the world this evening that has come to join us. We have approximately 102 participants in the Zoom meeting tonight, and that is something we should really be proud of, to know that Rotary connects us so well. We should be clapping and rejoicing now to know that we're a small island within the Caribbean, and we have people from Canada, we have people from Nigeria, we have people from Jamaica, we have people from all over the world this evening. So it's really, really a great accomplishment that we have so many people here tonight. Additionally, as our ritual is, we have birthdays. We have 4 birthdays coming up. We have Rotarian Sherbert, Rotarian Sharna, Rotarian Patrice, Rotarian Jade, Rotarian Aquila. So I'm going to sing happy birthday. Hopefully I don't get disconnected while I'm singing. Happy birthday to the recipient, to the celebrants. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Thank you.
In Taurus.
So thank you, Sarge.
As we continue the evening, just be reminded that all mics are on mute. If you have something to say, you would just raise your hand in the chat so that we could acknowledge you. And then those who has to present would be the only ones that would have their mic muted for the time being. Again, I say well.
I think she got disconnected. Thank you, Sarge. Tamara. I would also like to acknowledge persons that just entered the chat. We have with us past District Governor Felix Stubbs, and we also have District Governor-elect Charles Seeley. Welcome, and thank you for being with us this evening. I would like to now call on Rotarian Adelina, who will give us a short little icebreaker this evening. Rotarian Adelina, can you unmute yourself?
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited that we have people from around the world, here with us tonight. Like, I'm super excited. Elisha, I would like to ask you, because I need to share my screen. So we need to take yours off so I can pop mine quickly in, because I know that most of us around the world were on lockdown. And so, we are stuck behind the doors, but I know most of you, if you're anything like me, you are actually thinking about where am I going to travel next. So with that being said, on your screen, you will see a calculator on how to calculate your next travel destination. So I would like each and every one of you to answer questions 1 to 6. And Elisha, maybe you can assist me with, if you have your answer, just raise your hand, and Elisha, and then you can unmute. And yeah, and then we get to hear where is the first place you will go to when we are free. So first, you're going to choose a number between 1 and 9. Then you're going to multiply it by 3. Now add 3 to your answer and multiply your answer again by 3. Add 2-digit number that you get together. So if you got, let's say you had 2 and 4, so 26, you have to add a 2 plus 6. And then after that, the number you get is where you will be traveling to. So I want to hear from at least 4 people where they're going to be going to once this lockdown is over.
Well, mine is very disappointed. I got 9.
Me
and
too.
what does 9 say?
Stay at home.
Stay at home. Anybody else?
Jade, I had stay at home as well.
Ah, one more person.
I think I did mine wrong.
What did you get?
I got 37.
Mine was 54, so I think we're on the same.
I don't know where I'm going.
No, but if it's 37, probably you have to do 3 plus 7, which will be 10, and then you end up in Australia.
Well, in actuality, how this works, it sends a clear message. The message is, if we want to lower the curve, make it more, bring it into plateau, bring it down, what do we need to do? What does number 9 say?
Stay at home.
At home.
Yes, guys. So let's stay at home so we can actually get out of this lockdown and travel again. Thank you.
Please stop sharing so that I can okay. Share.
Thank you, Rotarian Adelina. I would like to now call on our honorary member, Rotarian Kenrick, to give us the Rotary Minute for this evening. Kenrick.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning to those in Africa. I would like to start this Rotary Minute and keep it to actual minute and share my excitement as well as the fellow Rotarians from Rotary Club St.Martin Sunset in welcoming everybody to this beautiful island of St.Martin. As you can see from my background, that's one of the iconic images of the island, which is very famous, of our close proximity landings on our airport. So I am also excited because due to COVID developments and as much as a lot of things is going on, it actually gave some positive points because I've actually attended 3 meetings in a row because of COVID-19. So, and then brought me back to my thought as that, and I guess it would tie in very good with our guest speaker later, for us to also remember what Rotary is, and Rotary is definitely a service. So from in the family Rotaract to now Rotarian, we come to Rotary to actually, not to get something out of Rotary, but to actually put something into Rotary. So I want us to also remember, even if we might be in a time of need for ourselves, to also remember it's service about self and also to give. And I hope everyone will, I know everyone will get something in return, because that's the joy of Rotary. And that's my little Rotary Minute for tonight.
Thank you, Rotarian Kenrick. Before I jump to our next point, I would just like to give a big welcome to our past Rotarian, Julie Ramchandani, who is here with us this evening. Welcome, Julie. We really miss you, and we hope we'll get to see you soon someday.
So nice to be here and see you guys.
Thank you. Now I would like to call on our membership chair, Rotarian Narissa, to give us the What Do You Know challenge.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to say welcome to everyone that came in, our visitors for this evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. So tonight's question is, how many official languages in Rotary and what are they? I will repeat, how many official languages in Rotary and what are they?
Hello?
Yes.
We have 8 official languages. English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, and Spanish.
Well done, Akila. Thank you. That is correct. Thank you. So we have 8 official languages in Rotary, which is English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, and Spanish. So that is your What Do You Know? Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Narissa. Rotarian Akila, I think that was a little bit too easy. Did you got some help from Google?
Yes, President.
I thought so. Okay, and now before we head into our guest of honor, our guest speaker this evening, we have just a few updates for Club Matters. So I would like to call on Rotarian Michelet, our Rotary Foundation Chair, to update us on our event for World Earth Day.
Good evening once again, everyone. As most of you may be aware, tomorrow, April 22nd, is World Earth Day. Since we are unable to physically meet, we thought it would have been a good idea that our Rotarians, our Club Rotarians, as well as you Rotarians who are now visiting, if we can plant a tree, preferably maybe a fruit seed or anything that you can eat, but the idea is to plant a tree, and then we take a picture planting it, and then use the hashtags World Earth Day, and then tag your club and Rotary Sunset. So that is basically the idea for tomorrow. So anyone wants to join in, it is welcome, and I hope to see your pictures tomorrow.
Thank you, Rotarian Michelet. We're actually looking forward to it. I actually have a few plans that I was waiting on this opportunity. So wonderful effort, and I hope to see everyone participate as well. I'm now going to call on Rotarian Kimberly, our Service Project Chair, to update us on our efforts for the COVID-19 relief.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our visitors. Welcome, Rotarians from around the world. Welcome to our members and everybody in the chat. We have 111 participants at the moment. I will first start off with the first initiative that we thought to do, seeing that we cannot do any hands-on physical projects within our community. as a club, we've decided to brainstorm some ideas the way we can contribute to our community. So one of the projects that we've came up with was donating to the White and Yellow Foundation, which is a foundation that caters to the elderly. So they're preparing hot meals and then the nurses are carrying the food to the elderly homes. So they have a family of 23 different people. So we donated 1,000 guilders to them, and they bought the food to put in their pantry, and then eventually they cook it, and then they would go and transport the food to the elderly people. So that's one of the projects that we've done. The money was handed over to Brechia, which is the director of the White and Yellow Cross, and she sent her greetings, and she was very happy with the effort that we reached out to them and assisted in a way that was possible. So our pictures are coming. They're busy. Once they get the pictures together, they will send it to us, but that's one of the initiatives we've done. And next thing on the list, I would like to thank the members that went out into the community to assist with the but investigating of the COVID-19. So some members participated going around with like a survey, and they were asking members and people in the community if they need assistance or if they have COVID, and assist where is necessary. So thank you to the members that went out to do that. The third one would be the PPE gears, which we're busy working on a quotation from the health department. They're busy finding the different prices and so in order where we can assist them by donating money, and then they will buy the gears. And so and these gears will be used for the nurses and the health people that are busy dealing with the upfront. So basically the frontline workers. So that is our third initiative that we're planning to do once we get everything in order. And that is it for Club Matters.
Thank you, Rotarian Kimberly. And we have, last but not least, Rotarian Adelina updating us on our change of board ceremony.
As most of you know, June 6th was a designated date for our change of board. Unfortunately, we have to cancel our change of board. However, I do know that our Sunset Club is very creative, and we're hoping that we can do something via Zoom to at least have our members see or participate in us trying to do a virtual change of board. Alicia, are you on board with this one?
I don't have a choice.
Okay, thank you.
Is the dress code all white still?
We will send that communication within short once the board have met to make the necessary changes, seeing that it's going to become a virtual meeting, so that it will become communicated.
Okay, thank you.
This should be really, really interesting. Okay, so now the moment we've been waiting for, I'm gonna shortly allow our Public Image Chair, Rolika, to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. I would also like to encourage everyone who may have questions to please do so within the chat. And our Youth Service Chair, Jennifer, will be taking the questions, and she will be asking the questions on behalf of those that we put in the chat. So I'm now going to pass the floor to PI Rolika.
Thank you, President Jaida. Good evening, and as Rotarian Cook Kenrick said, good morning to those who are far and in a different time zone than we are. Before I do introduce our guest speaker, I would like to say that this is very exciting for me, seeing that this is my first meeting that I've been able to be a part of, where I'm seeing other Rotarians from around the world. Unfortunately, with work, I was not able to join any of the meetings thus far, so this is refreshing for me, and I'm excited to be here, and of course, welcoming everyone. So as President Jada said, my name is Rolika Roach, and I'm the Public Image Chair for the Rotary Club of St.Martin Sunset, District 7020, Zone 34. I will be introducing our guest speaker, Rotarian Audley Knight. Audley Knight has spent over 20 years in the financial sector in sales, service marketing, and business development with 3 international financial institutions serving the Caribbean and the United States. He has a bachelor's from the University of Technology and an MBA from the Florida International University. He also holds certifications in financial planning and change management from the Canadian Securities Institute and ProSci Canada, respectively. Since September 2019, he has shifted focus and is now a regional membership officer at supporting zones 25A, 33, and 34. That region covers the South United States, so Washington, D.C., Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, and the Caribbean. He also supports Mexico, Central America, and Northern South America. Rotarian Audley also happens to be a Rotarian, a board member, and past president. He also served a district as New Generations Chair, Interact Chair, Rotaract Chair, Vice Chair of a district conference, RI Convention Chair, and an Assistant Governor. Everyone, please help me in welcoming our guest speaker for this evening, Rotarian Audley Knight, who will be speaking to us on the value of being a Rotarian.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, Audley.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me work this. We're now going to go to the using the technology, and I'm going to now share my screen. Okay, is everyone seeing my screen? That's possibly a thumbs up. And that means everyone is also hearing me. All right, thank you again, everyone. As I said before, I am the Regional Membership Officer with Rotary International. My roots are deep in District 7020. I'm originally from Jamaica and physically now reside in the Greater Atlanta area. Let me see. Trying to get this screen to move. There we go. So when District Gov, well, President-elect Alicia asked me to just speak a little bit about the values of being a Rotarian. Anyone who knows Alicia knows that if she asks you to do something, you really can't say no. And I met Alicia years ago when I was a district Rotary chair, and Alicia was the district Rotary representative. So we worked very closely during that year, and we had a wonderful Rotary conference in St. Martin in 2015. And I personally think Rotary is awesome, and District 7020 and some of the African countries actually have some really, really fantastic Rotary clubs and Rotary movements. So while I was there, I happened to pass through this particular location, and it just so happens that an aircraft was nearby. I just wanted to share that because that's what you do when you go to St. Martin. But there is a sign there that says danger, jet blasts can damage or kill you. So I'm not so sure why people keep going there. I just happened to be there one afternoon when we were at the conference. So I just want to share a little bit about what I do as a regional membership officer. I support the club, the district, and the zone. So for our newer Rotarians, a group of clubs form a district, and a cluster of districts form a zone. So the zones that I support, as I mentioned before, was 25A, 33, and 34. And 33 and 34 is all of the southwest of the US and coming down through to the Caribbean. So I'll assist on a club and district level on attraction and engagement strategies, club assessments and membership satisfaction surveys, enhancing the membership experience, looking at new club development, club and membership flexibility, and membership leads. This is the online platform where you can actually join Rotary by clicking on rotary.org. And we specialize in membership resources. So I'm really very happy for all the persons that are on the call. So I'll put my email address in the chat. And you'll see that at the end of the presentation, so if there's anything that you need specifically from Rotary International. So I'm speaking now from Rotary International, and I'll dive a little bit into a discussion as a Rotarian. So I just wanted to share some numbers with you. These are changes that has happened over the past 10 years, and these are percentages of Rotarians worldwide. So speaking to this audience, it's really very applicable. So over the past 10 years, Asia and the Asian market has grown by 6%. Canada, the Caribbean, and the USA market has actually dipped a little bit from 32 to 28%. And that's mainly happening in the North American market. The Caribbean, 70-20, 70-30, they're basically still strong and growing. Africa, Europe, and the Middle East have basically remained the same. It's so strange though, because there's been a little shift because the European market has dipped a little bit while Africa is growing. And I guess that's the reason why it's still remaining at 25%. Latin American market still at 8%. Great Britain and Ireland has dipped a little bit. We really are looking at what's happening in Great Britain because the age of our Rotarians there are actually up between 60 and 70. So we really have to be concerned about what happens 10 or 20 years from now. Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands they have also dipped a little bit by about 1%. So this is a snapshot of where we are now. These are data and information that I got from RR when we ran a report as of March 31st, 2020. We are now at 36,000 clubs, 36,087. That's an increase of 197 clubs since 1 July. And we are now at 1,216,000 Rotarians. That's also an increase of 27,000 Rotarians since 1 July. That is really good. But we know what happens in December as Rotarians and in June. So this 27,000 plus is really a good sign for what has happened since that dip in December. Right now, we are at 23% of the wonderful ladies in Rotary and 6.2% of our Rotarians that are under 40. We're a little bit concerned about that number though, because we're finding a lot of Rotarians are not keying in their date of birth in Rotary.org. So that number might be a little bit skewed. The wonderful world of Rotaract. We're now at actually 10,476 clubs, and that's an increase of 224 clubs since 1 July. 1 July, we were around 190,000 Rotaractors. We're now at 250. And that's an increase of 42,000 since 1 July. And the wonderful world of Rotaract, 50% are the lovely ladies of Rotaract. So this split half and half is really a very good sign going into Rotary into the future. So if you need additional information on Rotaract, again, I'll leave my email address, or you can go to rotary.org/Rotaract. I want to spend a minute or two on membership leads. Membership leads are if a prospective Rotarian wants to join Rotary and they go into rotary.org, they will click on this particular button and then Rotary International will have the information and then would filter it through to the district. Normally, the district membership chair, the AGs or the district governor would get these leads and then filter it through to a club. So we're very excited about membership leads. It's a wonderful platform. And these are the reasons why. We get 19,000 plus inquiries per year for persons who want to join Rotary and ask about it. The demographic for the persons who click on wanting to join Rotary electronically, 37% are women and 59% are persons under 40. This is exactly what we need as a demographic to go forward in relation to Rotary. So if you're, as an incoming president or a current president, if you're not seeing membership leads coming through, there may be a little hitch or a snag, reach out to your assistant governor, make contact with your district membership chair and ask some questions about it. I'd be happy to assist with that as well. The other thing that's really puzzling to us is 71% of these persons are never contacted. We're very, very concerned about that particular number. And I am gung-ho on membership leads because coming from the private sector, membership leads are in essence hot leads or sales leads. So I really want to go and dive into membership leads a little bit more. This is a snapshot of what has happened over the past year. So we really don't have, as Rotarians, an attraction problem. We have an attrition or retention problem. In 1 year, 158,000 Rotarians joined, but 164,000 left. And some of this information we're getting from a survey that was done as well. 90% of prospective members are inspired by our history and mission. 44% said, look, once I'm joining, I am not going anywhere. This is it for me. I'm going to be a lifelong member. The challenge though that we're finding is 52% of our members leave within the first 3 years. So this particular graphic on the next page after, for presidents that are in the chat or presidents-elects, look at your membership, look at those members in the first 3 years, and have a specific plan. This is data, this is information that we're getting from RI. This particular one is a little bit shocking, and I've been doing some presentations at some president-elects training throughout North America. This is also information from a survey that we did from RI in June and then another one in December 2019. 30% of the Rotarians say they leave because of cost and time. 23% say they leave because of the club environment, and 19% for unmet expectations. Again, for the president-elects and the district leaders and the assistant governors that are here, this is excellent information to know. And one of the things that I sing and shout about, especially going into a Rotary year on 1 July, please do a club assessment or a survey. Some kind of survey, something to hear from your members, what they would like to do, what they would like to stop, what they would like to start, what they would like to continue. We do have some formal ones on Rotary.org that you can actually use, but if it dependent on the culture of your club, you can tweak this to as much as best as you want to. The thing that jumped out at me when we looked at the survey was young professionals ages 20 to 29 said they left Rotary because of the club environment and culture, not cost. Rotarians may think it's a cost factor why some young professionals leave. That's not the reason. And the major reason also is it may be some cliques, not feeling included, or some personality issues. So if anyone needs specific information on this, I can share that data as well. Again, I'll leave my email in the chat box when we go along. And I couldn't be a team member of RI and membership and not share some resources that we have. These are resources that are at your fingertips. Go on Rotary.org, you can do a Rotary health check. There's tons of information about strengthening your membership, tons of information on membership assessment tools, club flexibility, and engaging young professionals. Another site that is fantastic is our Zone 3334 webpage. For the Rotarians that are in this side of the hemisphere, Google Zone 3334, there's tons of information there and also videos to help you to go along. So now I'm moving from RI and going into a Rotarian. So our core values, and I'm sure we all know them. Fellowship. And with fellowship, this is connecting with like-minded individuals, worldwide friendships, a sense of belonging and family. Integrity is where we honor our commitments. Who better to do business with than a Rotarian? If I need a doctor, an attorney, I'm going to ask a Rotarian first. Why not seek someone who lives by the four-way test? It's a no-brainer for me. Diversity. We connect with diverse perspectives to view and solve problems differently. Leadership. Life lessons are learned. Personal development is a given. And we use our expertise to solve social issues. And last but not least, service. It's an organized way to give back. More can be accomplished as a group. I like this particular slide because I know a lot, this is our value proposition, and I know because we're stuck at home, there's a lot of baking going on. I have a massive sweet tooth, so at least I don't know if you want to send anything to me. I love Black Forest cakes and puddings. But just for the mixture here, our value proposition is improving our community, fellowship, networking, again, service, doing great projects, having Rotary pride, a high ethical standard, and fundraising. All of that mixed in a pot generate member experiences. And member experience is one of the values that you can get as a Rotarian. And just a reminder, especially for the Rotary leadership in the room and for Rotarians, we joined for several reasons. You join for networking, as said before. But the return on investment as a club leader is personal growth. You join for doing good in the world. And we need to ensure that by doing that, we become involved beyond what we can do alone. Fellowship. Boy, that fellowship thing. And I have so many friends around the world. This is awesome. And I think Julie will recognize the picture on the left. And PDG Harris, if he's here as well still, that will also be there. And fellowship is really friendship on steroids. And I'm sure all of us here have been friends for a while. It is friendship on steroids. I just want to speak a little bit on the picture to the bottom right. I transferred to a club in Georgia. It's the Rotary Club of Northcote. We took a field trip, a road trip rather, to Montgomery, Alabama, and then in Selma, Alabama. We went to that Rotary Club meeting, and there's a joint project that's being done through that. That bridge is a famous bridge that Martin Luther King walked for the civil rights movement some time ago. So I shared that picture because it means so much to me, because having come to relocated to Georgia, I just walked into a room at a Rotarian and I was welcomed with open arms. So our core strength as Rotarians, going back to our values. So as our core strength, we see differently. We look at challenges to make the world better. We use our skills and experience and leadership in all facets to approach social issues. So we think differently as Rotarians. We are persistent and passionate about issues we support. Think of polio and the many different areas of focus that we've created, products around the world in local communities. So in essence, as Rotarians, we act responsibly. Whether it's a fundraiser, whether it's a service projects, or Rotary clubs are active, engaged in the neighborhoods and towns. So as Rotarians in St. Martin, whatever your project is or whatever you're doing, think of it as working and fixing a community or helping our project, a community at a time. But our local communities really divvy up into large community, large projects where we impact communities globally. And that's what we do as Rotarians. So just to summarize a little bit, community, service involvement, friendship, fellowship, all of this encompasses one of the nicest slogans that I love for Rotary, which is together we connect. And this evening is an excellent, excellent representation of this particular wording, which is together we connect, because we are Rotary, we are people of action. So given where we are in this current time, I want to just to share and remind everyone here that there are some persons that are heroes right now. They are actually doing service above self. They are in essence Rotarians. So anyone that's in the chat room, I just want to commend you. If you're a healthcare worker, if you have to work in a store, anyone linked to garbage collection, trucking and logistics, IT technicians, the police departments, fire, emergency risk first responders, delivery services, restaurant staff. These folks are now living our Rotary motto of service above self. They're putting their health at risk to assist us, for us, most of us, to be safe at home. So I just want to give a big shout out to the persons here and anyone in this meeting that falls into this particular category that's working now. So I just want to share a little bit what Rotary is doing during COVID-19. You may know that you may know that right now polio vaccinations are on hold because we're in a global platform now, and that's not possible to give vaccinations based on what's going on right now. So the infrastructure that Rotary has already put in place, which is mapping, tracking, testing, and logistics, that's being done now to assist with COVID-19 efforts. Another thing that Rotary is doing right now is there's a global partnership with all the other service organizations. There's actually a meeting in Rotary, which should have been an in-person meeting a week ago at head office, but this meeting was actually done online. So right now we're looking at a global entity, well, all the service clubs, to see how we can combat this COVID-19 and other things as well. So Kiwanis, the president-elect for Kiwanis, Lions, Optimus, and Rotary met just recently. This particular one is something we can do on our own as well. It's Global Impact Group, And if you look at volunteersurge.com, you could sign up as a volunteer right now, get training and assist from home. Global and district grants have changed a little bit because of COVID. So these are the things, I just put 4 things that are a little bit, that's come to mind as a relation to what Rotary think right now. We may not remember or know about polio. Our parents may not know, our grandparents may know. And I was sitting with someone recently, well, via Zoom, and they kind of reminded us, our grandparents and older persons that were there that know about polio, they reminded me that those iron lungs or ventilators right now are our iron lungs. So this is just something else that's happening right now where Rotary has changed things up a little bit. So if you need more information about global and district grants, reach out to your district grants chair. There are some changes to assist where COVID is concerned. So as Rotarians, looking at the value of Rotary, this is a perfect example of the value of being a Rotarian. We're sitting in our living rooms, in our bedrooms, or our homes, and we're having a virtual meeting with over 100 persons worldwide. What Rotarians are doing right now is supplying food and meals to different persons who are in need. My particular club have partnered with the Y because the Y currently are feeding children of healthcare workers who can't take their kids to school, to work actually. I'm seeing Rotarians shopping for the vulnerable, sewing masks, supplying tablets for students and nursing homes. So if you're looking for a project, you may find students in your neighborhood that can't go to school from home because they may just not have the tablets or the equipment or internet for that matter. Connecting with fellow Rotarians, I want to mention that one where if you haven't seen a Rotarian since we're meeting online, I haven't heard from them, pick the phone up and give them a call. That person just may need your help and your call may just be the lifeline that they need. We're partnering with nonprofits, we're patronizing restaurants, and we're contributing to the Rotary Foundation. Again, sending funds to the Rotary Foundation helps put everything in a big pot, and that helps to give back as well. But during all of this, look for opportunities as Rotarians so we can continue to give up service, whether we're doing it virtually now, but doing it in the future. So I wanted to use this slide to just remind everyone, this is one of the reasons why we're Rotarians, and this is the value of what we do, even though we are sheltering in place. This is our strategic plan. There is a strategic committee that just finished at Rotary International, and 4 major priorities have come out to increase our impact, expand our reach, increase our ability to adapt, and enhance participant engagement. And in my opinion, just having this call now, I am sure the board of directors didn't think that this mindset to do this would be encompassed in a virtual meeting right now, but this is exactly what we're doing. So increasing our impact is looking at our legacy and how we measure what we do. Expanding our reach is to look at new audiences and inspire more people. Enhancing our engagement, which is ensure member value and member experiences, developing our skills as leaders, and to adapt to an ever-changing world. If this Zoom thing is not adapting, I don't know what is. I found this online and I loved it, so I wanted to remind everyone, Rotary isn't canceled right now. It's just different. So virtual meetings is the best way to go to keep our membership engaged. And again, some Rotarians, they use Rotary as their only means of interaction and socializing. So again, if you haven't seen a Rotarian for a while, please pick the phone up and give them a call. I love this particular one as well. I found it and wanted to just remind everyone as well that the world needs Rotary and Rotary needs you. So if you think that what you do in your club as an individual may not be enough, it adds up and it works. And I'd say this again, based on what's happening on this call now, this particular year's motto or theme of the Rotary Connects the World is absolutely fantastic. And I just want to end with our revised vision statement. This is what came out of the strategic committee, and I'll read it for you. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. That's what Rotary is. That's what Rotarians do. And we're living this every day. And this is the essence of why it's of great value to be a Rotarian. Thank you, fellow Rotarians and guests. And my email address is there. If you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, or questions, please feel free to send me an email and I'll be happy to assist you, especially Rotarians in the sub-Saharan area and Africa. We don't have an RMO station at that location right now, but I can assist you with anything that you may need from a Rotary International standpoint. So, President, over to you, and let me just stop sharing at this point.
Thank you, Rotarian Audley, for that wonderful presentation. I do believe we do have 1 or 2 questions in our chat, so I'm gonna now ask Rotarian Jennifer to let us know what questions she has for us.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again. I only received 1 question from Rotarian Arthur Calagbor, and he's asking, Rotary's problem with membership is membership attrition most noticeable in North America. What specific strategies are we developing to position Rotary to young professionals there? How well are they working to attract that demographic? That's from Arthur Calagbor.
That's an awesome question, and I think some of the team from Zone 33's Rotary coordinator team is actually here, and that's something that we look at every day. There is attrition is real, and that is something that we look at, and attrition is normal, where Rotarians may leave because of a change of venue or a job change and so on. So it's not as easy just to look at from a club level or a district level to consider growing by X%. You have to look at what your natural attrition rate is and then go beyond that. So for example, if you have a normal attrition rate of 10 members per year, but you need to grow by 2, that means you have to induct at least 12 members that year to at least get that 2-person gain. But looking at younger professionals, there's a whole myriad of things that we can do. One of the things that has been working very, very well in North America are satellite clubs, where a Rotarian may be linked to a home club, but form a satellite club and meeting on their own, possibly to remain as a satellite club or even go into a different club altogether. So depending on what the needs are, and what we're seeing working pretty well in North America as well, a lot of the clubs in North America are breakfast or lunch clubs, which tend to have a meal cost or a meal component to it. We're seeing some clubs with young professionals doing pretty well in North America, where they're meeting more in the evenings, where the dues are a little bit less, and also they do like an a la carte where you pay once you go, or possibly at a restaurant. Or I've seen a club in Florida that's doing so well that each Rotarian, 2 Rotarians are bringing a meal to serve for the Rotary Club that evening. And it's actually quite fantastic because not every week you'll have the same meal. So 2 Rotarians are required to bring the meal. And by doing that, with a club size of say 30 or 40, your out-of-pocket cost for meal is just probably once or twice a year with a wonderful variety of food each week. So that's just one option that we've seen, and there's several others. And again, if you have any specific, send me an email. I'd be happy to chat with you and possibly set up a Zoom call to discuss things even further.
All right. Rotarian Arthur, I don't know if you're there. Did you hear Rotarian Audley's answer? I hope that answers your question. Rotarian Audley, I also have another question from PAG Michelle. She said, it stated, I have a prospective member in MO USA. Is that a part of the zones that PAG Audley oversees? Or if not, can he link with the other membership officers for that region?
Absolutely. I don't think that club is in my region. Let me just send me an email. Let me put my email address in the chat, and I can always follow up with you on that. That would not be a problem.
PAG Michelle, please look out for PAG Audley's
much. Yes, I'm
Email.
well in touch with Audley. He actually put my picture in the presentation. So yes.
Okay, great. Let's see if there's something else. One question about Rotaract. We are this is from Vincent Uzil, Rotary Club Schulzer. One question about Rotaract. We are a 38-member club within a 10K inhabitants, 42-year-old average and 50-50 male and female. We are thinking in creating a Rotaract club due to Rotaract evolution. And we are going to Rotary within 10 years in such a small territory. I'm not sure what Vincent means.
So, sorry, I may help you, Jennifer.
Sorry?
Yeah, I may explain. Sorry.
Sure. Go ahead.
Maybe
Go
my
ahead.
sentences is not clear. We are a young club, 42 years old average in a 10,000 inhabitant cities. We are creating mixed and we are 50-50. We are seeking in creating Rotaract nowadays, but due to the evolution of Rotaract, the end of the limit of ages and the fact that they are now become Rotarian, on this small city, is there an interest? Because maybe in 5 or 10 years, especially when you read articles from Britain on Australia, they are just saying that within 10 days, Rotaract will be Rotarian. So we will have 2 Rotary within a very small city. What is your opinion about that?
Let me see if I get the question correctly. You're thinking about Rotaract, starting a Rotaract club, or there's an existing Rotaract club?
No, creating one.
Creating one. No. What ARA has done in their wealth of knowledge and looking ahead, when the Council of Legislation changed in 2016, Rotary clubs can actually operate like a Rotaract club if they wish. They can, attendance is now laxed, and Rotary clubs can meet probably twice a week. Now, depending on the size of the population of that particular neighborhood, and if there are 2 Rotary clubs already there, it depends on who the Rotary club is going to be appealing to, because you may find a Rotary club having a breakfast meeting, or evening meeting, or a lunch meeting, and those persons can go to that particular club. Depending on the culture and what's happening, a Rotary club may flourish because the Rotary club may even form their own culture and attract their own persons as well too. So it really depends, but in my view, more persons involved in Rotary, in essence, the community benefits. So for 2 Rotary clubs are strong, and we do form another Rotary club. The good thing with Rotary, by changing the age limit or removing it actually, Rotaractors weren't coming into Rotary at age 30, and it was a big thing for Rotaractors to be aged out because they felt that they were kicked out. The good thing is, if you have a good thing going and you start a Rotary club, and Rotaractors can be there from 25 to 32 or whatever the age there is, and there are 3 entities in that particular area. In my view, if the 3 entities are strong and healthy, the community benefits.
Thanks for your answer.
All right, there's also another question, and that is from, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but that's from one of our African clubs with Ralph as the name. The question was, what do you see as the impact of the current pandemic vis-a-vis growing clubs to grow Rotary?
That's an excellent question, and that's a discussion I know our zone leaders are looking at as well. But what we're seeing with this new platform is we're looking at attracting other persons who physically can't make a meeting. So with this particular pandemic, there are opportunities in relation to our movement. This particular meeting is big proof of that. This is a club in St. Martin with persons visiting all over the world. Can you imagine we're getting persons in, or prospective Rotarians, to come and see a meeting virtually and then doing projects online? So again, I look at what opportunities are, and some of the things that I've been seeing when I visit club meetings is absolutely fantastic. The most common thing that I hear when I go to any club meeting online is Rotarians are seeing another Rotarian that they have not seen for the past 6 months or a year, or they're able to come on and join a Zoom meeting. So as was said before in our happy hour, we're looking through the window. We can't unsee what these wonderful possibilities are. So coming from this, looking at what's available online and looking at still having in-person meetings, Rotary had already 4 years ago changed the policies so that kind of mixture or merger can be accommodated. So going forward, I'm seeing this as a great opportunity to tap into persons who are Rotarians at heart, but they're just not attached to a club. And this might be a way to do that.
Thank you, Audley. There's also another question from Darcel Williamson. What are your views on the unpopular issue of terminating stalemate membership?
Now that one is a tricky one. I've been a president for my club as well too, and we have looked at doing that. But the most important thing is to try and reach out to those members. If you're not able to invite them back in, they're not engaged, they're not getting involved, that's the worst case scenario that you'd want to do. But ideally, if your club is engaging and inviting and there's camaraderie and projects that are happening, we find those clubs that are doing projects, having fellowship and having fun, they don't really have that problem. So the first part of it is try and make your Rotary experience irresistible, where you would not have to do that. Some clubs you'd have to do that at some point in time based on what's happening. But if you can focus on the value proposition and focus on making that club irresistible, you'd have less of that issue to deal with. You'd have to sometimes again, but you'd have less of that issue to deal with. Those are my thoughts on that.
And there's another question from our Miss Ralph, that's our Rotary Club in Africa as well. She asked, what in your view is responsible for the huge loss of membership in June and December every year?
Well, that's an easy one. And anyone here that's in club leadership would know, because that's when Rotary International does their invoicing for membership. And the number of members that you have that determines your club dues. So what Rotary clubs tend to do by December is to do a little cleanup, and for Rotarians who are not involved, possibly remove them from the listing. That way they don't fall or do not come on your invoicing. So each December or June, there's a dip in membership. And what we do suggest persons do is to try and beef those members up. So if you do have to remove someone, your net result will be the same or even greater. So that's the main reason, because most clubs will look at the invoicing in December and June. But hopefully, if you're continuously moving up with an irresistible club, if you do have to remove a member or two, there wouldn't be a dip in your particular clubs. If we could do that for each club, that would then transform into each district and then each zone.
Okay, thank you. There's also a question from Karen Pinder. What are some strategies or techniques to minimize personality conflicts to reduce membership attrition?
Hello, Past Assistant Governor Karen. I can't see you because of the screen. The main thing on that, in my view, and I think I saw District 7020 has a particular topic on this. I think it's super important to have something at PETS or something every quarter on conflict resolution. I think that's important. If it's something that can be done from your assistant governor or your district governor, or do something every quarter at a club assembly, I think it's super important to learn how to do that. Because remember, we are a member organization. We're a volunteer-based organization. You cannot tell somebody what to do or force something on someone else. When a Rotarian physically comes to a meeting, we need to be thankful that they're there and make the experience wonderful that they want to come. Because every Rotarian that comes to a meeting or a room, they don't have to be there. They can be somewhere else. So in my view, working through conflict resolution, getting formal training on that, I think that will help tremendously, just to work with and see how best to work with the different personalities in each club. Because with Rotarians, we're all leaders, we're all professionals, whatever your profession may be. How we interact and how we work through differences. I think that's the key for that particular scenario.
Thank you. And there is another question from PAG Michelle. She was asking, is it possible for you to highlight some successful clubs and the reason as to how they achieve this? And she said she knows that there are some negative and positive, but can you possibly highlight the positives?
I can highlight a fantastic club. It's very close to me, actually. This is my own club that I've transferred to. It's Rotary Club of North Cobb, and they're in District 6900. 1 July, they were at 38 members. Right now, we stand at 55. So they have gained 20 plus members in the past 7 months. And how they did it was just really simple, and they went back to the fundamentals. The meeting is a breakfast meeting, and I'm not sure, I've invited some members of my club to be here. I'm not sure if they're actually here, but it's a breakfast meeting. I am not an early morning person, but when I went to that club, their sergeant of arms, if he's here, his name is Hicks, they call him the sergeant of open arms. Once you're in the meeting, you feel very welcome, very appreciated, and everyone just feels welcome, have a good time, and the meetings are fun at 7:30 in the morning. What has happened though is, and this works, every new Rotarian that came in, the club deliberately asked them, what projects do you have? Do you have something in mind that you're already working on? Or is that something that you're passionate about? And they bring that to the club. So by doing that, you're getting buy-in from that new Rotarian. The club tried to actively do those projects. The friends of those persons see a Rotary Club assisting in that particular project. They get interested and they start visiting the meetings. So we moved from possibly 20 projects or initiatives to possibly about 50. So almost every week, there are 2 or 3 things that that club is doing, whether it's a physical project or a social. And that just goes back to the fundamentals. The other fundamental is it was easy for us to find them, to find us rather. The public image part of that particular club is very clear and very easy to find. Their website on Facebook has all information. Persons could find their website easily. And for the persons here, a tip, based on what's happening now, most Rotarians might be looking to visit clubs online. Please check your Facebook page or your website, fix them up, let it be attractive and easy to read, and share up-to-date information. You may be missing a prospective Rotarian because they're looking online. You may not have up-to-date information there. So just to share some tips where that is concerned, almost every week something is happening with the Rotary Club of North Cobb, whether it's a project or a social or an initiative. And once persons started to come out, the friendship and the fellowship happens. So again, it's just fundamental and it works.
There was also several questions regarding your presentation, Rotarian Audley. The members are asking if it would be possible for them to receive this presentation.
I could put some stuff together, possibly in PDF, and share it as well.
Okay.
And remember, if there's anything right, please email me directly if you have a specific information or request on your club. You should have some of this information through Rotary Club Central, but I may be able to present it to you in a different format.
I hope that answers the question for some of you that messaged privately. And there's another question from Adelina Scarp. You spoke about retention. One of the things we are facing as Rotarians is Rotarians resigning and using the current situation of COVID-19 outbreak or the impact of the virus as a reason to leave. What advice can you give?
At this point, just reaching out to them. What we're finding is, as we said before, we're finding Rotarians still coming online. There are some clubs that are not meeting online just yet. And we take it for granted how simple and easy and effective an actual phone call can be. So if you're a current president or president-elect, can you imagine you reaching out to that Rotarian one-on-one as the president-elect to say, look, I'm taking over come 1 July. I need your help. You've been a Rotarian for so many years. This is what I need your assistance with. That's a nice, simple way to reach out to a Rotarian. I'm thinking one-on-one does work. Try it and see if you can retain that particular Rotarian.
you. Another question was, I believe this may be the last question. This was from Trevor Fret Bridgewater. I received a question from a Rotaractor last night, and it lended to their concern about when we are able to meet physically again. Members may not be inspired to come out to physical meetings and would more want to opt for the club to do an online meeting. What is your take on that?
I think we mentioned this earlier. I think it's fantastic. The good thing is, from a policy standpoint, Rotary clubs can meet twice a week in person. But right now, everything can be done online. So I'm hoping with the phase transition where we're coming out of our homes and back into meeting in person over the next few months, I'm hoping. You can always have the option to say, look, over the next month or two, we're going to be doing all online. Then we're going to move to once online and 3 times a week, then possibly twice online and 2 times a week, or possibly if you're recording a meeting on your particular club or district is specific to attendance, you could do a project as your meeting time, but your club meeting could be all done online. So the good thing is there's a myriad of different things you can do, and I love the idea that there's flexibility already there on the back end from Rotary International.
I would like to thank you, Rotarian Audley. That was our last question. And everyone is saying thank you for your information and your answers. We truly appreciate you. I'm now going to hand it over to President Jaida.
Thank you, Rotarian Jennifer. I'm now going to call on our PI Chair, Rolika, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening once again. Thank you, President Jaida. I would first like to, of course, thank Rotarian Audley for that presentation. I know right now during COVID, this whole pandemic, it does make it a bit difficult to sometimes stay motivated, seeing that we can't physically do any projects. So this presentation and your Q&A definitely served as a reminder why we joined and to continue pushing through. I would like to, on behalf of the Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunset, present you with this certificate of appreciation for being an exceptional guest speaker on the topic of the value of being a Rotarian this 21st day of April 2020. Thank you so much.
Thank you, PI. Thank you, Rolika. Now I would like to call on Rotarian Georginette, who is going to be introducing someone, one of our guests this evening, a very special guest this evening, Rotarian Georginette.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Over the past couple of weeks, members of the Rotary Club of St. Martin, we'll have an echo. The Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunset have been visiting many Rotary clubs around the world. We had the privilege of visiting one specific club where the president took our breath away with her enthusiasm, her joy, and her overwhelming love for us that we took the initiative to invite her here today. She is Rotarian Blessing Timothy. She is the president of the Rotary Club of Port Harcourt North in Africa, District 9141, and she is a lawyer by profession. I would like to take this time to welcome her as she presents this lovely song that they did at their club that we really loved. So thank you, Rotarian Blessings, and welcome again. I think she has to unmute herself.
She is unmuted. I hope she's not. She's there.
Rotarian.
Hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good evening. Good morning from Africa, Nigeria. Okay, let me take the song then. I like to give a helping hand and join the brotherhood with all good folks throughout the land who work for the common good. Common good, Rotary, to Rotary, to Rotary, to give a helping hand to Rotary. Rotary, with the folks of Rotary. A cheerful smile, a willing heart to help us on our way. A firm resolve to do our part to brighten someone's day. Rotary, to Rotary, to Rotary. Rotary, to give a helping hand to Rotary. Rotary, with the folks of Rotary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rotarian blessings. Thank
And
you.
thanks for the picture. That's nice. Projects.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I already have my bedroom voice. It's 1:47 a.m. in Nigeria.
We just want to thank you so much for staying up for us, blessing, and we look forward for that fellowship this week. So thank you again.
Today rather.
Yes.
Today.
Oh yes, yeah. Today for you, tomorrow for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was nice having you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're now on open floor, and I want to do something a little different this evening, given that our topic reflected, why we joined Rotary and why we decided to become Rotarians. I'm going to call on 2 Rotarians. I'm just going to pick and choose to give us your take on why you joined Rotary and why you stayed. Let's see. I would like to choose DGE Charles. Is he still here?
I am here.
Yes. So can you give us your take on, the value of being a Rotarian? Why did you join and why do you choose to stay within this organization?
Sure. First of all, hello to everybody. This is so exciting to be able to meet with friends and actually make new friends through this wonderful vehicle that we have through Zoom. And so it's really a great thing for us to be able to get together and celebrate Rotary, even though we're all being, I guess, locked down in our various spaces. But I joined Rotary a long time ago. I was invited to not a Rotary club, but actually to a Rotary project, something that was dealing with at-risk students. And in an instant, I realized that there was a calling for me, certainly to help young people. But as I got exposed to what Rotary was more about, I realized that I was a Rotarian a long time ago. I just didn't have the pin. And actually, there are so many persons who are about our various countries who are doing good. They just don't have the Rotary pin on. I stay in Rotary because I realized that there was so much I could do by myself, but there was an even greater amount that I could do when I banded together with other like-minded persons. And so leveraging the power of intuition, of excitement, of resources, we're able to do good all around the world. And so I am so excited with the brothers and sisters, the family members that I've made over the years in Rotary. And I invite you to look among your family, your friends, your social networks, and see those persons who are doing good, who are not wearing the pin as yet, and let's make them a Rotarian. I love you all and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Can I also have, let's see. PDG Felix Stubbs.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to participate in your meeting. And let me say congratulations to RMO Audley. Audley used to be my assistant governor when I was district governor. So congratulations on your presentation, Audley. And this is the second time for the daily meeting. But yeah, I joined Rotary several years ago. And I decided to join kicking and screaming because it was past District Governor John Robertson and past Rotary International President Barry Rasson who got me into Rotary when we formed the Rotary Club of National Sunrise 18 years ago. Because I had resisted joining Rotary for 10 years prior to that. But even in the first couple of years in Rotary, I wasn't really a good Rotarian, I was just a participant. And even up until the time when I became president, while I did what I had to do, I wouldn't call myself a true Rotarian. But then, the third week into my presidency, my first wife died of cancer the very morning of my third meeting. And for a while after that, going through a state of depression, several of my Rotary family came to my house and on a regular basis to kind of motivate me and keep my spirits going. And one evening as I was sitting in my couch talking to another time of 5 lovely ladies, my president-elect, my past president, my secretary, my director of community service, and my director of vocational service. And it occurred to me that here I am sitting at home trying to comfort two young adults because their mother had just recently died. And I was totally lost. And I just couldn't believe that these folks would take the time to come and visit me on a regular basis, try and help me go through this situation I was in. So I said to myself, if this is what Rotary is about, then I need to be a part of this organization, all in. And so that's what made me to become a true Rotarian when I saw that family of Rotary. While that may be a sad story, the good part of it is that over time, one by one, those 5 ladies kind of went back to their normal lives. And the 5th one now is out in the kitchen having supper. That's my wife, Carla.
All right. I would just want to thank you so much.
To Rotary.
Yes.
Rotary connects the world.
And thank you for sharing that. I hope that was able to inspire some of us to, think on the reasons that we ourselves joined this organization and what is keeping us here. I don't want to take up too much of your time because we're already going a bit over our time. But now I would like to call on our membership chair, Narissa, who would give us a good deed challenge for the upcoming week. Narissa, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, President Jaida. Well, the good deed challenge remains the same. I would like to encourage everyone to attend all the Zoom meetings around us. Every Zoom meeting is very good. We get to see different Rotarians around the world. And so I encourage everyone to just continue to join a Rotary Club at Zoom meetings this coming week. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Narissa. And now I'm going to hand the floor over to Rotarian Alex, who's going to do our virtual toast.
Thank you, President Jaida. Good evening to everyone. I'd like to ask everyone to please go and get yourself a glass so I can do a toast, please. You have 2 seconds. Are we okay? We good? Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you, Audley, for your presentation. Very interested presentation. I do hope that all the members that is online this evening did take note and will try and follow those guidelines and what you have to do in order to be a better Rotarian. The members of my club, thank you guys for being here with us. The visiting members, thank you guys for being here with us as well. For those who were supposed probably to be sleeping and that is still awake with us, thank you. Thank you very much for staying up and attending this meeting with us. I'd like for everyone to lift their glass and say long life to Rotary and more Rotarians for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Grandma.
Yeah.
Bravo, Alex.
Here.
Bravo. Bravo, cheers.
To Rotary, to Rotary.
To Rotary.
Yes.
Cathy Cousine.
Ça va, Alex?
Je te voyais pas.
Je suis là.
Okay, stop now before secretary. Alicia, secretary. Alicia.
Thank you, Alex. Awesome job, Alex. Good job. Drink your juice now. Drink it.
Good night,
Thank
everyone. You
Good
see, look at
night.
my glass. I don't know if you can see my glass. You see this glass?
Oh yeah, Rotary Club, Rotary glass.
Yes. And finally, I'd like to give the floor to our Sergeant at Arms, Rotarian Tamara.
Hello, good evening, everybody again. Now usually is the time where we collect happy dollars. I gave an assignment last time. I wonder if anybody did it, got to where the envelope. Did one of our Rotarians from Sunset, did we get through with our envelopes? Hello?
Shops closed. Shops closed.
You could make
We could have
one,
created
make one out of
you know, we
paper.
have a lot of videos on YouTube. We're very creative in this time. In any case, we're gonna do happy moments. So I'm gonna select 3 Rotarians to tell us a happy moment that is a happy or a hopeful moment. What is how do you feel technically during this period of COVID-19, and as well as being a Rotarian? So I am going to select, we have now 89 members. AG Pete from the State District, from Wyoming, I think, State District 5080. Can you give us a happy or a hopeful moment? Hello?
I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself. Thank you for acknowledging me. I'm from Washington State, actually, Walla Walla, Washington, in the eastern part. We're in the dry desert part. Hopeful moment. I'm hopeful that we're seeing this pass and that Rotarians are coming together around the world on platforms like this. I'm so happy to be part of your meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I would like Rotarian. I would like Rotarian. Trevor Fred Bridgewater. Can you share a happy or a hopeful moment?
Good night, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Trevor.
Okay, good night, everyone. One hopeful moment is that I hope that in the near future we can allow this to pass so that we can get back to being out there, being visible, being able to physically socialize so that we can continue being good stewards, doing good while fellowshipping.
Great. Thank you for sharing. One more. Rotarian Ralph from, no, 2 more. Rotarian Ralph from our club in Africa. Can you share a hopeful or a happy moment? And then I would have AG Marcy end off with on the same note.
Hello, thank you very much.
Rotarian Ralph?
Can you hear me? Thank you very much, the SAA. Again, one more time, I would like to thank you very much for having me in this program. Like I said, I'm an Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 22 Africa, and I'm from Nigeria. It's been nice to be in this fellowship. What do I hope for? I think there is something good in every circumstance, no matter how bad it is. Believe you me, COVID-19 has given us the opportunity again to find other means to connect with one another to do good. And most importantly, I would like to thank and appreciate this club for all of you are donning Rotary branded materials. I feel so good that you all are Rotary compliant in branding, and I look forward to having other clubs across the world having to find themselves where Rotary branded materials for fellowship. One more thing, let us keep our hope alive. There is life after this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. AG Marcy?
All right, good night, everyone. What do I hope for? I hope that this particular, let's say, unwanted situation in terms of this pandemic of COVID-19 is able to, one, bring us together in terms of humanity to see that such a pandemic has affected each and every one from around the world, but in spite of that, we can reach out to each other, we can build friendships, we can show love, we can assist others in need. So we can show that love spirit and also serve others, in particularly we being Rotarians, showing what we do most of all, which is serve humanity, build friendships, networks, and make our contribution to the world. So that's my hope.
For a new book to read? As a means to promote literacy and lifelong learning on St. Martin, Little Free Libraries were installed, which serves as a means to take a book, leave a book, and read. The Little Free Libraries are located on the Marigot waterfront, the Rahul Elite Sports Complex, and the University of St. Martin. Be sure to visit the Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunset's free Little Libraries, where you take a book, leave a book, and read.